Hey guys, welcome back. Matt and Steve here. This is the Ever OSL SemiFinals, Movie versus Shine. Second game going to be on Heartbreak Ridge here. Should be interesting. First game we saw Movie take out Shine on a Zerg favorite map, as Matt mentioned, on El Nino. So not that good of an omen for Shine, but I think that Heartbreak Ridge is a map that Zerg should feel comfortable on. They've had pretty strong builds on this map, and so not sure how Shine has done this map in the past, but again, I was pretty impressed in the first game, and I expect more of kind of the same back and forth type thing between both these players. They're both can be pretty tricky. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a proxy gate by Movie or rush to DTs or anything like that, or two-hatch Muta from Shine on this map. Wouldn't be surprised by anything. Both these players, I think they are capable at a high level of play, but they're also capable of doing some very interesting builds and working them out. But Movie's got to have a lot of confidence after stopping one of Shine's tricky builds. That was probably meant to be one of his tricky builds, and it didn't work out so well. So Movie's going to have all the confidence now that he can play Shine. And I think that if the longer the game goes, the better chance Movie has, honestly. I think we saw in his games versus Zero, he's a very strong macro player as well, very strong at multitasking. I think that Shine is also strong, but I think the longer it goes, the less and less chance Shine has to win, honestly. So, you know, Movie maybe even knows that, so as long as he can just survive Shine's aggressiveness, I think he can definitely take this series. So we have to see about this match.
I think that tends to be the case with Protoss versus Zerg, where if the Protoss can get past kind of the mid-game and get to a late-game scenario, a lot of times Protoss has the advantage and can really push force. Now, that's certainly not always the case, but I definitely think that Zerg's ability to just make a quick game, to macro up quick, to, you know, snipe high Templars, or to do a drop, do something like that, has kind of been their ability to really kind of stomp on Protoss recently. Now, we did see that was actually kind of a... Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking for the split there. Anyways, in that last game, we did see Shine try to go for a lot of different things. Go for a quick 3 hatcheries, go for a Hydra Rush, then he had Burrow, then he went for a drop, kind of researching a lot of different things, spending a lot of money on tech, which again, I don't know, I just feel like you just kind of need to commit to one thing and do it when you're a Zerg player. Like, I mean, there's great tech switches, and one thing that I thought was interesting that you said, Steve, is that build we haven't seen really before, which is the go to 3 hatcheries, don't build any drones, and then just save up, because one of the things the commentator was noting that game, how he wasn't, they noted that he wasn't building any drones. He was actually saving money, and then all at once built a bunch of Hydralisks, and then all at once moved up. So that's kind of cool to see. At least you're seeing some sort of innovation, even if it didn't necessarily work.
Well, we do see Hydra breaks like that, but a lot of times it's off of just 2 hatcheries.
Exactly.
It could be 2 or 3, but like Quanro tried that against Stork, but he tried it on a map, I can't even remember which map that was, like either Eye of the Storm or whatever one is with the weird walls on it. Anyways, 4-player map. The problem with that map is it's a little bigger. There's a bigger difference or distance there. El Nino is a pretty good map for the build that Shine did, but I almost wonder if maybe he should have just done a 2-hatch break or something like that.
Right.
Either way, you know, what you mentioned about the Overlord dropping and stuff like that, I just don't think that Shine had a good follow-up to that build. That build was not meant to get that far into the game.
I agree, yeah.
And so it was really smart that he got Bro for his Zerglings. He saw the Reaver. He knew that Movie was going to send a Reaver. You know, he had those Hydras positioned not quite far enough to intercept that shuttle, but he did end up intercepting that shuttle anyways. But really, it was just that build put his economy just too far behind, and so the fact that failed, I mean, I don't think it had to be necessarily all in, but just the way it turned out, you know, he didn't snipe the Reaver, and so really just got put a little bit behind. It looks like Movie now is going to delay Shine's hatchery a little. Shine doesn't quite have 300 minerals yet anyway, so he's not really carrying right now. Now he just got 300, so he's going to want to get it down, and he does get it down. So this is one thing that This is one thing I noticed playing on Icy Cup a few times. I would be delaying the guy's hatchery or whatever, and then I looked on the replay, and I was like, oh, he doesn't even have 300 anyways. He doesn't even care that I'm delaying this so early.
He's just trying to kill your pro.
Something to remember, it doesn't really matter that much unless you're actually delaying. And I think that's Shine's grandma. I don't know. I think I said this before in a different one.
Let us know if somebody somehow knows that.
Yeah, if you know. I heard that sometime. I don't know. I saw that in some selection or something like that. But anyways, it looks like Shine again has his pull up relatively early, and again he's going for a 3rd hatchery, at least posturing for it up here at the 12 o'clock position.
Right.
And in the meantime, Movie's going to be totally safe with his couple of cannons, bringing the probes out. Really smart to do just in case Lings were trying to get by. Honestly, if you don't do that, that can break you. I mean, early on in the game, you know, Fast Expand's a really strong build, but you're definitely vulnerable to Zerglings. if you guys watch some of the Foreigner games, or play on Icy Cup or anything like that, that is something that you can get crushed on a lot if you don't pull those probes. So something I haven't learned too well, but definitely the programmers got it down, and it looks like they're just going to start mining pretty soon. Their movie still has his probe in the base of Shine, so he's going to be able to see what's going on, which isn't a whole lot. I don't know if he knows about the third hatchery yet, but hopefully he will soon.
He might notice the delay on the next tech item. He hasn't seen a layer go up yet, which is something that normally you'll see go up if you're trying to go for like a 2-hatch build, like a 2-hatch Mutilus build. So Movie, if he is observant enough, might notice something like that to see. We haven't seen a Hydralisk Den go up, which of course does not require a lair, so it's something that you could try to do to maybe fake the opponent out like you're going for Hydralisk again, which again we don't quite know that yet. Cybernetics Core going up right there. Okay, so there's the third hatchery. So Movie did probably notice the lack of tech and did scout at the third hatchery. Kind of like last build, we saw the 5 hatcheries. We'll probably see something similar on this map on Heartbreak Ridge. Heartbreak Ridge is one of the maps that I think really helped kick off the Neo Sauron build for the Zerg, in going with 5 hatchery, just tons of Hydralisk. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people have said that Zerg is Imba on this map, is just because that's one of the original maps where we started seeing Protoss get face stomped. So anyways, there's a Stargate going up. We're going to see a Corsair come out. We're still not quite sure as far as what kind of tech Movie is going to go for on here. That's always the interesting point, if we're going to see a Citadel go up, or if we're going to see the robotics facility. And I just saw a building, but I couldn't quite see what it is there. So
Stargate up so far. Usually he'd follow up with Citadel. Looks like the Spire is going up now for Shine, so he's going to have those first couple Scourge out, hopefully, to defend against the Corsair. One thing about this map, just talking about how it kind of plays out for players. I think it's just hard to get expansions on this map. It's hard for Protoss to get their 3rd, and it's hard for Zerg to get their 4th. So really, I think this map favors the player that turtles for as long as he possibly can. I mean, obviously you don't want to turtle too long, but I mentioned this before when I think it might have been 0 versus Movie or something. I think that Protosses are better off making a later push on this map. If you can just sit there and hold and make the money and build a big enough force and then push and then get your 3rd, you're better off doing that. Like if Movie were to go try to take his 3rd right now, unless Shine was just idiotic, he would send a bunch of Zerglings there and that would be gone within seconds. So I mean, granted, Shine doesn't have any attack units right now. All he has is drones, but as long as he scouts that out, definitely Movie would have a really hard time getting up his 3rd. So usually, it's best, I think, for players to just kind of sit and turtle up. That said, though, Zergs are capable of making a really strong push in this map if they sit on their 5 hatches. 3 bases, 5 hatches. Just pump economy for a while, and then you can just mass Hydras and just have a really, really huge, strong mid-game push on this map. So I think that is the most dangerous part for Protoss on this map, is that really huge mid-game push. So if you can do some kind of harassment at all, like right now, Movie's, his Corsair is getting fended away by those 4 Scourge, but if you can get some DTs or anything like that in, just to do a little bit of harassment, just to slow Shine down a little bit, that would be ideal. Otherwise, though, it's just going to hopefully just end up in a couple big battles, most likely, because again, like, he's sending these couple Zealots out, but those Zealots aren't going to do crap, in my opinion. It's just too far of a distance to that 3rd base. If this was Destination, maybe, you could send your Zealots to that 3rd base and get a really decent harass, maybe even stop the hatchery altogether. But at this point, 3rd hatchery's up, he's going to have Sunkens, he's going to have Evo Chambers in the way, stuff like that. So again, these Zealots really just in danger of getting killed. But actually, there are 4 there. If we can bring his 4 in there, that's actually enough to take out those Zerglings, I believe. Movie doing a good job of actually microing his Zealots a little bit. Shine not so much really getting us around or anything. So this is actually economically better.
Look
for
at that
Movie.
micro.
So yeah, really good micro. Now all those Zealots are about to die, so he has to pull them back. But again, like I said, other than killing Zerglings, this isn't doing any damage to Shine. So, and those are Zealots you'd like to have later on when the Hydras pop out. So I don't necessarily agree with that decision. I don't see what that did. He had the Corsair scouting, so I don't really agree with that. But he does, he is kind of buying himself time, distracting Shine a little bit. He does have 3 Sairs out now, so it looks like he is going to do a Sair Reaver on this, probably.
Well, that's one thing I've noticed Protoss, and I haven't seen as many Protoss do this, so it's interesting to see the Movie, but going Reaver first rather than Shuttle first. And that is a turtling move. That is actually a move that you do when you don't want to move out and harass. Of course, when you get the shuttle first, while the Reaver's building, you can take your shuttle over there. You can drop into DT. You can drop or generally at that point it would be a couple Zealots in the base. So Movie not really planning on any harassment here so far, and there are the extra the hatcheries going up. And as you mentioned, Yeah, and exactly, and as you well, actually, he might be going for Hydralisk as well. We did see the Spire go up. I think it looks like he is going to go for a Hydralisk build at least right now. But you know that does worry me a little bit about movie. Now he has a slow shuttle and a ton of Scourge coming and able to take out the shuttle. Wow, great job by Shine. I mean, it did cost him like 8 or 9 Scourge to do that. But and unfortunately, he didn't really kill any of the Corsairs. Movie needs to do something. He needs to do something in this game because right now Shine is getting out there. Shine has a good economy going. He has